Hello and welcome to another episode of Laptop Retrospective, and today I have an update video regarding the vertical surface dock. So this is one really cool piece of kit if you are looking to make an ergonomic desktop workstation with the Surface Book 2 or really any of the other Surface lineups. You might want to check out verticalsurfacedocks.com, and you can see my first video up there in the corner. If you've seen that video already, you will know that there were a couple of things that I'm like, it just doesn't work perfectly with Surface Book 2 with a skin on it. It's machined so specifically that if there's any tolerance issues, it becomes a little bit more difficult to use. And I sent my feedback, and lo and behold, they have gone ahead and sent me a prototype parts kit that might actually work with this. So what we're going to do is we are going to install the parts kit. I'll go through the different pieces so you know kind of what's the prototype part and what might be just a replacement part. And I was also told that there was a goodie inside here, and I think I can actually see it. But at any rate, let's go ahead and clear the space and unbox what we've got. Okay, so inside the box we have a couple of modified or prototype pieces. So the first is this particular cage right here is pretty much the same as the one that's on here. It just has a different finish. It actually feels nicer. This has been recut. The tolerances on the top here are a little wider, hopefully to accommodate the Surface Book skin. Beyond that, that will sit on there as we would normally expect. Now, the arms that have been included in this one are different. So there's two different sets from what I can tell. There's a set here that isn't quite so curved around the hinge as the stock component. And just for tolerance's sake, we've also got another part where some foam has been attached as well. So the idea is that the foam gives you a little bit of adjustment and snug fit on potentially the tighter tolerance. Now, if I line these up, they're indeed not the same. These arms are a little shorter. So we'll go ahead and see which one of those ends up being the best fit. And he was kind enough to include some of the foam tape as well, probably just in case I need it. The other piece that I'm really excited about is actually a redesigned top clasp. One of my concerns was with the original top clasp is that it was not necessarily easy to actuate, but now that this has a finger groove, it should be easier to lift this up to attach and detach. So I'm really looking forward to trying this piece out. We do have our inclusion of our screws and nuts and bolts and all of that good stuff that we would come to expect from the kit. And he was kind enough to include this. So what this is a USB speed controller for the fan. So you're able to essentially use this to very fine-tune the speed that you would like the fan to operate at. So it has the USB that would go into the back. You would plug your fan in here, and then this guy here has an on-off, and you can turn it all the way up or all the way down. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this works as well. So let's go ahead and disassemble the original. We're going to install the new pieces and see how things work out. So between the two sets of hinge holders that I was sent, I'm going to try the ones with the foam tape first just to see how they go. These are also a different thickness, I believe, to again accommodate for how much the Surface Book is being pushed out by the case, which is about 1.5 millimeters if we round up. So I'm going to go ahead and install these and we'll see how it goes in terms of fit. Okay, so we have it installed on the mounts with the arms with the foam grips. So we're going to go ahead and lift the latch just out of frame here at the top. We're going to go ahead and position the Surface Book and just clamp that down up top. And there we have it. You know what? With the foam, that does the job perfectly. All right, so on the back of the dock, we have 2 USB ports and 2 on the front. Now, the trick with this is how it's constructed. If we plug it in here, it'll actually block this USB port, and same thing with all of the other ones. So plugging this directly in my opinion, unless the board physically were changed or swapped, doesn't really work. So with that being said, just so I can get the space away, this is going to be super redundant, but I'm going to add the original cable that the active cooling kit came with. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the speed controller, and then I'm going to go ahead and plug in the fan itself. Now what I'll do is I'll turn the fan power on, and I'll leave the speed controller turned off, and then I'll turn the speed controller on like so. Just how the board is designed does leave a little bit of room to be desired. This in and of itself is not a absolutely perfect solution, but it is still a really cool piece of kit if you want cooling and you want to control the actual volume of that very noisy but robust fan. So ladies and gentlemen, with the prototype parts, this thing is fantastic. It was excellent before, the concept was amazing, but this, to me, even though the improvements are very minor, they're absolutely major, especially for my use with the toast skin, or if anything, you know, just giving that little bit of extra leeway with the tolerances, as tight as they were, I think does give a much better experience overall. It's so snug now. It's absolutely incredible. I would have no concerns about this falling out, honestly. So if I move some stuff out of the way and I just start shaking the arm, this isn't going anywhere. It is being held in there so nicely. And with the new latch design at the top here, it makes removal of the Surface Book and the docking of it 100% easier. It's just that good. So I'm really, really excited to see these small but significant iterations towards this setup. To me, it's the most exciting thing about the Surface Book 2 ever since I bought it. Like, that is how much of a game changer it is for me. Like I said, the only thing that I think needs a little bit of R&D work is overcoming the speed controller conundrum, where it blocks that one USB port on the back. I think this is a pretty small problem to solve if you can find someone to manufacture the right piece, and maybe the people at Vertical Surface Docks are already thinking about how they're going to overcome this. I guess the other option that you could have is you could actually just stuff it in the front of the unit. If you do that, it does mean that one of your 2 USB ports at the front is being taken up. But at least that way you could plug this in without the use of the extension. Only use one USB port and you would be able to control it from the front. So that could be a viable option for some as I close up this video. At any rate, if you want one of these, you know who you need to talk to, and it's the people at verticalsurfacedocks.com. I'll leave a link in their description. They're really, really awesome people. The attention to detail in their products it's in the right place. And the July sample was really good. This is great. And I just can't wait to see what other little improvements that they might make to this lineup They're already starting to roll out their lineup for their Surface Go. So if you want this set up with the device, let them know, because I'm sure that the absolute brains over there will be able to point you in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching. I'll leave the big 4 here at the bottom. Please like the video, share it, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because you have not seen the last of this docking solution. I will be doing a video in the near future showing you how to get good display scaling on the Surface Book 2, so it allows you to effortlessly drag windows across from one another. There's also a guide available if you don't want to wait. I'll leave that in the description as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.